So to all church leaders, and I'm the least of all, I'm the least of all of them. Not easy, my dear friend, to please people and upset Jesus. Not easy, my dear friend, to associate yourself with high caliber people in government positions and other places, and you sell him like Judas Iscariot did. My dear friend, a time is coming, and it is very near. When the time of grace is over, you can be the Pope, you can be the Patriarch, you can be an Archbishop, you can be a Bishop, you can be a priest, you can be whoever you want to be. But when the time of grace is over, I can assure you, Jesus Christ will not be that Mr. Nice Guy anymore. Oh, he won't. The all-merciful, the all-loving, the all-forgiving God, he will be sharper than a double-edged sword. Fire will be devouring everything. Fire will go before him and devour everything. You will see Jesus in a way that you have never ever experienced in your entire life. Jesus in his first coming was the lamb. In his second coming he will be the lion. The lamb is very humble, very quiet, very peaceful, hopeless. They dragged him in the streets of Jerusalem. He never opened his mouth. They kicked him, punched him, spat at him, and told him off. He never replied and retaliated. They stripped him, lashed him, whipped him, and nailed him naked fully on the cross, and not even a whisper came out of his mouth. That lamb is not going to be the lamb when he comes again. He will come as the lion, the King of all kings and the Lord of all lords. The whole world will be trembled under his feet when he comes in the second time. No more lamb. He will devour those who denied him and sold him, the Christians, the so-called Christians. Oh, they'll cop it. And the only way for the Israelite people to come back to Jesus, where they are still living in total denial. Some are coming back now, but the majority are still living in total denial. They say the Messiah never came. That was not Jesus that was crucified. That's a fabricated story. Christians made it up. The true Messiah hasn't come yet. They are still living in total denial and in stubbornness. They will never have their sight reopened again and restored again to fullness, because they've got partial blindness. That's why they denied him. Yes? Romans 11:25, partial blindness, so that the fullness of the Gentiles is complete. Jesus Christ had in mind from the Gentiles this perfect number. He's going to get from the Gentiles. Once that number is reached, the time of grace is gone. You can be a Christian. You can call on Jesus. He will never come again. He's got a number in his head, in his mind, from the Gentiles, the New Testament. He will save as many as he can. The Christians and the non-Christians are living in denial of Jesus Christ. My beloveds, the church is rebellious today. The church is living in a rebellious way. It's rebelling against the Lord. So the Lord is giving a chance to the church, those leaders, those Christians, baptized souls that have walked away from Jesus, saying, come back, because the time of grace is closing. Not much left. And he's bringing the non-Christians, Muslims, Buddhists, you name them, atheists, he's bringing them to him. Once that number is reached, the door will be shut. There is no one that can open it again. Once that door is shut, those left out Christians, they would wish they had never lived. And the Lord will go back to Israel. That's his church as well. It's the branch of the Lord Jesus' church in the Old Testament. He's going to go back to them. He made a promise to Abraham. I'm going to visit your children. I'm going to bless them all. That promise has to be fulfilled. In my first coming, they denied me because I can go to the Gentiles. In my second coming, the Gentiles will have to now miss out to go back to the Israelites. The promise made to Abraham, Genesis 22:18. When he goes back to the Israelite nation, the only way they're going to come back when he puts them through the great tribulation.